Now let's take these numericals on this Coulomb's law basic concept, and with every question you will see a new concept, a new possibility, how this Coulomb law can be used in different applications. Like the first question, we'll move from very simple question to the best standard questions on this concept. Like the first question, as you can see, it states there are two charges placed in air and they are separated by a distance of 1 meter and repel each other with a force of 8.1 into 10 to the power minus 4 Newton. So I have got two charges, maybe it is Q1 and other charge is Q2. They are separated by a distance of 1 meter and these two charges are repelling each other with a force of 8.1 into 10 to the power minus 4 Newton. So we know that it follows Newton's third law of action and reaction. So on both sides the same force, on both the charges the same force will be acting. Calculate magnitude of charge on each. So when we say are the two charges different or same, it is given in the beginning two equal charges. It means one thing is sure, Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to Q. So when I am looking and they are placed in air, the medium is air. So when I look for the force, it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by r square, and this force is 8.1 10 to the power minus 4 Newton is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9, and Q1 Q2 will be Q square and gap is 1 square. So we have from here Q square is equal to, we can call it 8.1 by 9 into 10 to the power minus 13. So it is Q square is equal to 81 by 9 into 10 to the power minus 14. Thus Q will be 3 into 10 to the power minus 7 Coulomb. So this charge is on each of them will be 3 into 10 to the power minus 7 Coulomb or 0.3 microcoulomb. So one thing is I want magnitude of charge on each. So I have the result, magnitude of charge on each will be 0.3 microcoulomb. Yes, they are like charges, so it can be a positive plus 0.3 microcoulomb or a negative 0.3 microcoulomb. Now the B part is about what if the force between, what if the separation, the gap between them is filled with water of dielectric constant 81. What will happen to the force between them? So in the second situation we are told the gap between them is now filled with water of dielectric constant 81. What will be the force now? So you have answer, force in water will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught K Q square by r square. So this is force in air divided by K. So force in water will be, force in air was 8.1 into 10 to the power minus 4 Newton, and here dielectric constant of water is 81. So we'll have the force which is 1 by 10 into 10 to the power minus 4, or it is 10 to the power minus 5 Newton. So force in air, force in water will become 10 to the power minus 5 Newton. Now we have a look at part 3. What will be the new force if charge on each sphere is doubled and the distance between them is half as compared to the original situation? So for this I am writing, maybe in original situation the force was 8.1 10 to the power minus 4 Newton when it was air between them, and charge on each was Q, and the separation between them was R, which is actually 1 meter. Now in part C, if we look at, question says what will be the new force if charge on each sphere is doubled. So just imagine that new charge is 2q, charge on each sphere is doubled and distance between them is halved. So new gap is r by 2. What will be the new force? So if I am saying new force, it will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, because the separation is still air. We are saying, we are not talking here about the medium change, into q square will be 2q whole square, and gap is r by 2 square. So this will become 4 into 4, 16 times of force earlier. So the new force will be 16 times of 8.1 10 to the power minus 4 Newton. So we will get it 1.29 into 10 to the power minus 2 Newton. So simply we have here tried to use this formula, that in case if we are just talking of q and all other variables are given, we have found one variable in the part A. In the second part, we have discussed what will happen if the medium is changed between the two charges. You introduced k. And in the third part, if the charge is doubled, separation is halved, what will be the new force? So here we have just utilized the change in the variables and we wanted to get a result. So this was question number 1 for you. So this question number 2 in the same way, it's about, there are two small spheres. You have first sphere and another sphere. It may having a charge q1 and it is having a charge say q2. The two charges are 0.4 microcoulomb and another one is having a charge of minus 0.8 microcoulomb. They are placed such that the electrostatic force on small sphere of charge 0.4 microcoulomb is 0.2 Newton. So the force which is acting, it is, if one is positive, if one is negative, it means there is going to be force of attraction and same force on both of them. So the force which is acting on this one, on first one, is 0.2 Newton. In this situation, we are looking for what is the distance between the two. So I can say force of attraction is 9 into 10 to the power 9 into q1 q2 by r square. The force of attraction is 0.2 Newton, 9 into 10 to the power 9. Charge on first one is 0.4 10 to the power minus 6. Charge on second one, I am not supposed to put it sign here because it may have a negative sign. But here we are just talking of magnitude of the force. So it is 0.8 10 to the power minus 6 divided by r square. So if we are looking for r square, it will be 9 into 0.32 divided by 0.2 into 10 to the power minus 3. And thus r you will get as 0.12 meter. And B part. Now we are looking for B part, and which says what is the force on the second sphere due to first. So about that you are very clear. If I know the force on first sphere due to second as 0.2 Newton, then equal and opposite force will also act on second sphere due to first, which will be 0.2 Newton only. The two forces are equal and opposite acting on the two charges, following Newton's third law of action and reaction. So question number 2 was very simple. So question number 3 now, where we are talking of everything in CGS. So just I want to first remind you what is difference between dealing in M case and CGS. When we are talking in M case, the force is in Newton, the separation is in meter, the value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is 9 into 10 to the power 9, and also the charge is in Coulomb. But when we are talking in CGS, the force will be in dyne, the distance will be in centimeter. The value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught will be 1 and the charge will be in stat Coulomb. Now we look at the question. Question says, here the force between two equal point charges placed in a medium at a distance of 9 centimeter from each other is 16 dyne. You have two equal point charges, one is Q, another is also Q. They are placed at a distance of 9 centimeter from each other, and the force which can be attractive or repulsive but equal and opposite on both is 16 dyne. But there is a medium filled in the space between them which may have a dielectric constant, say K. So question says that earlier the force between them is 16 dyne. So from that first part which is mentioned in the question, I can write my equation F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q square by and K by R square. Now force is 16 dyne, 1 by epsilon naught will have a value 1, charge on both is same between two equal charges, and separation is 9 centimeter square, so it is 9 whole square. So Q square is ultimately 16K into 81, so Q will be 4 into 9K, and I will have a charge root K, 36 root K. So from the first part, there are two unknown variables in the question which I can observe. One is the value of the dielectric constant K and one is charge Q. And in one equation, I will not be able to solve two variables. So first part which I am getting is Q is equal to 36 root K. So this is first part of the question. What I have received is Q is equal to 36 root K. This is the first result. Now let's see what else is said. On increasing one of the charge by 56 stat Coulomb, it is found that distance between the charges must be changed by 3 centimeter in order to keep the force between them the same. So in the second situation, what is told is on one of the charge we are adding Q plus 56, and yes, it should be in stat Coulomb because we were using everything CGS. On one of the charge is now increased to Q plus 56, the other charge is still the same. So obviously the force of repulsion will increase. So the gap is now increased 1 plus 3 centimeter. That is 4 centimeter is the new gap. If earlier it was 9 plus 3 centimeter, so 12 centimeter is the new gap between them. In order to keep the force between them the same, the medium is still K. The medium is still K, but the force is same. So in the new situation, the force is same. So I will say in the new situation 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught K Q plus 56 into Q divided by 12 square. The force is 16 is equal to 1 by K Q plus 56 Q divided by 144. So here I will have the equation which says Q square plus 56Q is equal to 16 K into 144. Now I can introduce the value of this Q as Q square as 36K whole square. So this 36 root K whole square plus 56Q is equal to 16 into 144 K. Now, I have this equation finally, which says 56Q is equal to 1008 K, and the value of Q is how much? 36 root K. So, I can say 56 into 36 root K has a value 1008 K, and thus we will have the value root K is equal to 2 and K is equal to 4. So, one way I will get the dielectric constant K as 4, and from there we can find the value of charge 36 into root 4 or 72 stat Coulomb. So, that is how we can calculate the dielectric constant, and also we can calculate the charge which was mentioned in the question. So, you can see in this question we have used CGS system here, force is in dyne, charge is in stat Coulomb, the separation is in centimeter. Do not mix the two system of units here when you are dealing with CGS or you are dealing with MKS.